Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back. Let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen now, and we are getting ready to go right into week 3 setting boundaries. Okay. Our goal for this week, for week 3, is to empower yourself to set and maintain healthy boundaries in your life, ensuring to protect your emotional, mental, and physical well being. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all screenshot that as well if you need to. But the goal is to empower yourself during this week and to also maintain the boundaries in your life in a healthy manner, not in a toxic way. I didn't tell y'all to go crash out and cuss people out to protect your boundaries. I didn't tell y'all to disrespect folks on your way to doing that. But I'm assuring you to protect your emotional, mental, and physical well being in a healthy manner that you can maintain for as long as you are here. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about what last week's homework was asking of you in rediscovering your self worth. How was last week's homework for a lot of you? Share in the comment section right now if you can and if you want to. What was it like coming up with your 5 affirmations that reinforce your self-worth? Did you feel good? Did you feel strong? Did you feel a little bit Did it feel yucky because this is not something you normally do? Just share a couple words with us real quick so we know that you're doing the homework and that you are participating and you are still showing up for yourself no matter how uncomfortable you may feel about talking affirmations of love to yourself. And I also want you to also think about, did you take the time to repeat them to yourself each morning or evening? And to be honest, it's not about repeating them in the morning and the evening. It is more so when the thought pattern of negativity comes. Do you remember to anchor yourself in the affirmations that you created for yourself at those very moments that your mind gets out of alignment and wants to start to attack you because you are moving into new territory that it is not familiar with? Okay. When we are in unfamiliar territory, our mind goes into such chaotic, toxic affirmation mode that is where our discouraging energy and feelings about ourselves come from. And we act on it by letting go of the new thing in order to go back to the old thing. Okay. And so the affirmations are not just for you to say during the morning and night because I feel like that's performative. I want you to be able to think outside of the box that these affirmations are here to anchor you in the moment that you are feeling the need to hear something kind to yourself versus, right, thinking about something negative. I don't want you thinking about something negative all day, every day. It is time for you to have the ability, which we will get into later on, about setting boundaries even for yourself to say, look, stop that. Here are my affirmations that I've been working on. Here are my weekly affirmations for the things I'm working on and thinking about this week that I'll need to be able to have a safe space to allow myself to think about these things. So from Candace, she says it wasn't easy at first writing them, but it really felt good. I love that it really felt good at the end for you. And you used affirmations from the book to heal your body. I know that's right. Sandy said, I'll have to admit, I use the affirmations of what others post. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. When we are getting our affirmations for ourselves, it doesn't always have to be what we came up with yet because our minds haven't been able to think that positive when it comes to us. Now, it's easy for us to output that to other people because we have been conditioned to think about other people in a light that we're not always favored to or give our grace to ourselves to be a part of, to feel too. So now when you're thinking about affirmations, it's always towards an output of someone else versus yourself. So if somebody else's affirmation speaks life to you, then I want you to know that it is okay to make that your affirmation for you as well. And to know that it is okay for you to have that permission to do so because that is how you learn. The ability to understand yourself is that you have to be able to take what somebody else has learned and has put out there and say, you know what, I can adapt this mindset for myself too, and that I'm worthy of being able to tap into that information for myself and use it to my advantage. Okay, Fredetta said it felt good to write them down. It did bring thoughts of why I need these affirmations. Past experiences where I did not honor myself or my feelings, I needed these reminders. Come on now. This, remember, the tailored affirmations that you create up for the week is for you. You say and you put down or you Go over and chant over yourself exactly what it is that you need to hear from yourself to yourself. Candace says, wasn't easy at first, but I did it. Okay, I think I got everybody. However, the prompts are my own feelings. Woo! Now I know that's right. That's why we doing this. The journal prompts, at the end of the day, can nobody answer those journal prompts like you can. Now we can write affirmations and they can sound like everybody else, right? And they can look like everybody else's. But it's something about when you answer or writing out those responses to those journal prompts that makes them unique, because it is your feelings, it is your understanding, it is your comprehension of what we're understanding of what you are going through or what you've been through and how you are reflecting on them in the present. And that is what makes everybody's story so unique, even though we may have the same story, but the way we share the story, that is what makes us unique. All right, thank y'all for sharing. I love that. Okay, so we're moving on. This week's affirmation for us, when it comes to our tailored affirmation for this week's, I have the power to set and maintain healthy boundaries for my well-being despite how others may feel. Mm, 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 mm. Think about that. I want y'all to read that to yourself. I have the power, right? And you have the energy of the power to set and maintain healthy boundaries for your well being despite how others may feel. Why do we have to say that? Why, when we speak about boundaries, why is it imperative that we have boundaries set and well maintain healthy boundaries despite how others may feel? Now, why do we have to say that? Can y'all share that in the chat for me? Why do you feel like we have to say, despite how others may feel? I just want you to start tapping into your boundaries real quick. Why is it when it comes to your boundary, we always have to think about how others may feel? This is an honest reflection here that I would like for y'all to share with me real quick in the chat. Why? Why maintaining healthy boundaries? I have to think about how others may feel. I really want to hear from everybody today on this. Fear of judgment, okay? Because others will manipulate you into doing things that benefit them. Come on now. Y'all talking. Come on, because not everybody always agree. Come on, Kiara, I see you, because I'm a come on. That's what I'm talking about. That we are aware of why we need healthy boundaries, despite how others may feel. But we don't always necessarily enforce the boundaries because it is the community that we come from that has guided us and raised us to be disarmed towards them. They didn't teach us how to say no. They didn't teach us how to move with ourselves first, not in a selfish manner, but in a selfless manner, so I can preserve my energy, because they needed access to your energy. Whether you were a child, a teenager, a grown woman, an elder woman, it did not matter. You were taught things in order to be available to the community that did not know how to self-preserve, self-reflect, self-initiate their own motivation, and be their own accountability partner. They had to tap into you or anybody else that they could tap into in order to make sure that they were able to use your energy, your insight, your mindset, and whatever else you had to offer to benefit them. Clock it. This is why when we talk about boundaries, people get uncomfortable, because this is where the meat and potatoes of this dish that we're cooking up is really at. Without boundaries, all this stuff that we're doing will go to shit. Excuse my language, but it is the truth. You can talk about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get this going. But if you have no army to protect those boundaries or those affirmations that you're saying for yourself, what happens is people walk right over all of that and walk straight in, dismantle everything that you're saying, and say, it is what I want. I am your mother. I am your father. I'm your sister. I'm your best friend. I'm your man. I'm your girl. I'm your baby. I'm your big baby. I'm your boss. I'm the road rage person next to you in the car. All these people get full-fledged all up in your energy field because you have no type of energy within to enforce the boundaries because of fear, shame, and guilt. We've talked about shame and guilt. And I asked y'all to define those three words because they are driving you crazy in different areas of your lives, that sometimes suppressing those things and just being in autopilot, being disassociated from your life, that is how you move. Boundaries is saying we're not suppressing anymore. We're bringing back yourself into the present, and we're allowing ourselves to go up against everybody that needs to know. Okay. Manipulation is real, and unfortunately, I fall to it often. I hear you, Miss Sandy, because some people don't understand boundaries and want to encroach upon them. I'm not a morning person, and everyone knows it, but I have this one person on my team that plays fake nice and all is loud and good morning in your face. And she gets mad because I say you're interrupting my boundaries and my peace being inauthentic. Baby, I don't care if she playing games, mind games, crisscross, applesauce, double dutch. I don't care. Girl, she know what she doing, and she does not like the fact that you are able to tell her that you have your no. Baby, that's why. Oh yeah, let's get into this, because I love me a habitual line stepper. It ain't nothing like it, because sometimes let me see how I say this is where your awareness kicks in. The more you take care of yourself, the more you heal yourself, the more time you spend with yourself and you get to know you, that means that you have the opportunity to be a little bit more aware than the next person that's disassociated. Because a person that's disassociated and being performative, being a class clown, they're not seeing everything the way you see it in reality, right? And because you've been able to sit with yourself in isolation without having to feel like you need Tom, Dick, and Harry to sit with you because you're scared, that person that's a habitual line stepper, she's scared to sit by herself. That's why she overstepping your line. Because she don't like the fact that you can sit still and take time for yourself, because she don't know how to do that. And so now I like to play a little game every now and again with people that act stupid, because I could play just as stupid. But see, I'm aware I'm playing stupid. You don't know that you are performing, but I do. So what I like to do is I like to act like I don't know nobody and I don't know nothing. And I'll start playing right into it. The next time she come over, tell her straight up and be like, you know what? You just seem like you don't care about nothing about my boundaries, huh? And just watch her and see how uncomfortable sis get. Like you don't care nothing, and just keep a smile. Don't be mad. Don't be angry. Just look them dead in the face, because a person that don't know themselves don't like eye contact. But stare and keep looking at them because you comfortable with yourself. You ain't ducking nothing. I see you. And you stay right there and you hold eye contact and you be like, you don't understand boundaries, huh? And you don't care about my boundaries, but you come in here and you act like you do care with this fake smile and see what they, oh, and watch them break. See if they come back over there and try to understand and act like they didn't understand what you said the first time. Sometimes you gotta go there with people because they don't know that they're doing it. And sometimes they don't care that they're doing it. But you start telling them without telling them that you see them, baby, I bet you she leave you alone. She'll respect that you got boundaries because she don't want to be seen. She don't want to be seen. And that's my TED talk on that for today. Someone said it's sad because it's family that does the. That's what I'm saying. Girl, where you think I learned that from? Sometimes you just gotta look at people, and you know where's the best place to practice this with too, with kids, because they're so innocent, they don't know, but they have that raw, like, I'm gonna be up in your grill. No, I didn't hear when you said you wanted to wake up in the morning without noise, because they really don't. They're kids. Kids are selfish. They are dependent on us, but they're a great place to practice and build up your momentum on how to deal with adults that are still being ran by children that are within them. So let's get to it. Okay, so the three words I want you to define real quick is shame, guilt, and fear. Thank you, Candace. You answered that already. Yes. Yes. Somebody said, oh, yay. Sandy said, I just did this to my coworker. However, I slipped out the B word afterwards. Girl, sometimes that might, look, on this journey, you can be as healed as you want to be. But if you're not authentic and how that B word slip out, you saw I just cussed a little bit ago with the S word. Sometimes some people need to hear the vibration of your tone so that they can understand you not playing and that you're serious with what you're saying. So if a little B word slip out, catch yourself all right, my bad. Nah, I didn't mean to call you that, but that's just the element I'm in. But everything else before that, I meant that. You see how I said that? Like, I didn't mean that. And I can take accountability. That was disrespectful. I apologize. And no matter how upset you are about that B word, but everything else, you better make sure you heard what I said. Because everything that I said from the beginning, before I got to that B word, I meant it. Now, you could play and act like a victim because you heard a B word slip out. But I need you to be just as upset and accountable for what I told you from that beginning of this conversation to the end. And that is what awareness gets you. We are here now. You know too much now. Okay? You cannot get caught slipping out here because you want to go back to old ways of thinking and crashing out. Your awareness of yourself isn't to be a crash out dummy. Your job is to be aware of your surroundings and the people around you so you know how to move on this board called life. Okay? Now, if you know so and so is explosive, now don't go over there. That is your awareness. That is your boundary. That is your protection. If you know your mama don't know how to pour into you, don't share news with them or anybody that always down your accomplishments because now you asking for it. You know every time you go up the street, this fool looking for you. Wow. Start moving according to your awareness. That is your boundary. All this stuff that we're talking about goes hand in hand. Somebody was talking about confirmation. I think that was Erica when I asked her how she was doing or how things have been going. She said she's seeing confirmation with the steps she's taking because she's moving in a different way. Baby, the confirmations that you're getting about what you're thinking from within yourself and it comes out around you, that is synchronicity. That means that you are on the right path and you're doing the things that you're supposed to do because you're honoring thyself. But if you are on a path of people pleasing and crashing out and acting a fool and letting people walk all over your boundaries, now what you got is synchronicities coming to you, but you're sitting there not knowing how to go against the synchronicities of the negative output that you're putting out there by giving everything you got to everybody else and nothing for yourself. And so everybody or the whole world around you is giving you confirmations through different things that until you do right by you, everything around you is going to keep testing you because their job is to help you see you and do right by you. Every time you wonder about a man, a woman, or somebody going to be out there to love you is every time you give your power away on how to love yourself. But I bet you if you start pouring into yourself and not worry about these men and women out here, you ain't worried about what she doing over there. You ain't worried about what Tom, Dick, and Harry doing in their life, despite what you know. Just maybe you can see the blessings that's overflowing in your life. Just maybe you can see that everything you've been asking for is right there with you, but because you disassociated, because you don't know how to enforce your boundaries, you can't even see that you already won. The goal is to bring you back into the present so you can see all your blessings right around you. Because even though some of us have been disassociated, we know how to work hard and we know how to be good people, regardless of how we were taught or how others have treated us. A lot of us still know how to be good people without even being conscious because that is who you've always been. You've always been a good person. You've just been dealt some traumatic things in your life. Now, if we could get these things up out of here and you don't have too much emotional attachment to them because you healed the root cause and you understand it and you let it go with love, not bitterness, not lies, not deceit, not vengeance or revenge, but you let it go with love because it taught you what it needed to about you and everybody else. And when you move with love and understanding, that's called wisdom. And now your awareness about how everybody else moves comes into more focus, more clarity, more confidence within, glowing, smiling, dancing freely, sipping, drinking, eating freely because you're taking care of yourself. Now you can see everybody else that ain't doing it. And maybe by you just being you and not having to be a preacher girl, because now when some of us start healing, we want to start telling everybody the gospel. We're not in that phase. It is not your job to go running around and be a talker. It's more so of being a doer. Allow your actions of how you show up for yourself every day to be louder than your words. Let it be the example on why people will want to get up and do better and be better because they see you moving. You're not preaching, you're living. You're a living testament That is what that means when people are in church and they say you are a walking and living testament. It is not because you out here being a preacher girl or you the teacher that want to tell everybody now because you found out one secret of word. Baby, it's called embodiment. It means that I live this, I do this, I am this. But every time you break your boundary, you put yourself in a place where you are getting further and further away from you. Okay. So when I say trauma scenarios around saying no, it looks exactly like this slide that I created for you. I want y'all to take a look at this and I want y'all to screenshot this right now, like all the other stuff I had y'all screenshot. That's extra. I want y'all to look at the different types of trauma scenarios around saying no that has created fear, shame, and guilt around you, and how you move in your life, in your everyday life, where there's coworkers, your baby daddy, your baby mama, whatever it is, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor. Rejection or abandonment, right? It's being ignored, cut off, or emotional abandon after asserting a boundary when you tell somebody no. Verbal abuse, being yelled at, insulted, or belittled for saying no. Think about your closest relationships that you do say you love them, but this is how they respond when you tell them no. Okay. Physical violence or threats, facing aggression, intimidation, or harm for not complying. Baby, everybody tell you a bus ass will get you right. Okay. It will, but it'll cause some trauma. It'll also cause some trauma for you and how you assert yourself when you become an adult. As a kid, some of us do need our ass whooped. That's another story. But however, what happens when you have a parent or somebody in your life, whether you are in a sexual relationship or a paternal or paternal relationship with someone, and their first thing is to threaten you or to cause physical harm to you? That is not okay when you say no. Think about withdrawal of love and affection. The minute you tell somebody no, they go silent on you. Baby, that is a form of abuse that I learned at 35 years old. I'm 40 now. 5 years ago, I learned that when somebody tells you if their body and their expressiveness that they are ignoring you with silence because you're not complying. Do you know how crazy that is? People go crazy. Children, teenagers. Could you imagine being in a relationship with another adult and the way they handle things is giving you the silent treatment? You can't give me the silent treatment because the minute you start ignoring me, I'm on to the next. Like, who I got to call so I can get me some attention. We's grown. What? Now look at shaming or ridicule, gaslighting, retaliation or punishment. That's why I said we don't do revenge out here, right? Loss of safety or security, social rejection, being excluded, isolated. I heard people getting kicked out of places because you're standing up for yourself. Think about social rejection. Internalized guilt, growing up in environments where no was seen as disrespectful. Well, I ain't even gotta tell you, it ain't just the Black community, it's every community. The minute you say no to an elder, to a child, or to anybody because of a need that needs to be met or acknowledged, somebody feels disrespected. Yeah, you feel disrespected because nobody wants to give in to you because you sound insane, right? You think about being in environments in relationships that are supposed to be built on trust, love, unconditional love at that, warmth. The minute you say no, all hell breaks loose. Start looking at your relationships where you are scared to say no. And I guarantee you, if you start looking in those places and start finding the root causes of those things, a lot of different emotional hiccups will finally get a chance to breathe and let go of you. And so the first thing I want y'all to do is think about a time, I was going to come with it. Think about a time when you struggled to say no, right? What was the result? How did it affect your emotional health? And how did it affect the relationship? Did you maintain the boundary you set or did you allow it to be crossed? Y'all pop off. That is your first journal prompt. Big intro today, but there's a reason why. But I want y'all to think about a time when you struggled to say no. We're here. We are absolutely here now. We are in the place of boundaries. Boundaries that we weren't equipped with when we were little. Not a lot of us. Some of us, we got told and got it. Don't go there. Don't touch that. That'll harm you. That's bitter. Don't taste that. Boundaries are endless in this lifetime in different stages. But there are some boundaries that when you invoke them and enforce them, those closest to you will feel like you are the enemy. Because how dare you tell me, the one that did this for you? Now you guilt tripping me? Catch the guilt. Oh, I know you not talking, telling me no, but you was now you shaming me because I told you no. Catch it, right? You better not ever tell me no, because if you tell me no again, there's that fear. Look at how touched fear, shame, and guilt. All because somebody does not know how to sit still with themselves, think for themselves, honor themselves, be honest with themselves, stay within their means for themselves, don't want to continue their learning for themselves, don't know how to sit still by themselves. And so they have to come and make sure that in your world and other people's world, they have full access for you to be with them at every turning point. Hence why people pleasing is always the biggest major response to not having boundaries. Because you just want to make sure whoever is angry with those type of responses is taken care of so that you can go on with your day. And so you start to comply. And you comply and you comply and comply until you find somebody that tells you you don't deserve that. Or you start thinking that I don't want to live like this anymore. Or I want to do something, but I can't do this because this person feels like they need me every step of the way, even though they're body and able. Or they made decisions that got them there and made you responsible for taking care of them because of the decisions that they made. And that can be even romantic relationships. When you get in this relationship, for example, the person's moving, they doing their thing. And then they start squatting after an incident, and now they want you to take care of them because now they're guilting you and shaming you into taking care of them. This happens all the time. Children, grown, will guilt you. Okay? Your little kids will guilt you. It don't matter if you don't have boundaries that are intentional with love, right? And self-respect. People will walk over you from all walks of life. It doesn't matter what label they have, what hierarchy they have, what that they believe they have. Does not matter. It can move you to break down your boundary against yourself. They have succeeded with disconnecting you from yourself. And this is why we are always bent up and frustrated with ourselves when it comes to loving us, because we are depending on thinking that somebody else will do for them what we do for others. But truly, you are supposed to take your energy and your focus and do it for yourself. Is it nice when you have somebody that can reciprocate that to you? Of course. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous when you can get somebody to do something for you and think about you. Shoot, consider you, baby. You know how beautiful it is to sit up on a throne and have everybody consider you and not themselves, and they're not asking you to do it for them? Child. So that's called selfish. You got to balance that thing out. I give, you give. I take, you take. But if you take, what am I getting? It ain't a fair deal, you know? But I want y'all to think about that time where you struggled to say no. And then what was the result? How did it affect your emotional health? And how did it affect the relationship? And your emotional health, did it deplete? Did you go into the depression? Did you just disassociate? Were you angry at yourself? Did you, deflect? Did you act like it didn't happen even though you did go through that situation with that person? Be honest on how you show up after you go against yourself. I want you to hold the energy of what you feel like when you don't honor yourself because you are people pleasing others to avoid X, Y, and Z. Be honest. The more honest you are with yourself, the more opportunity you give those feelings and abandonment issues and neglect issues to come up to finally be seen, loved, felt, and heard, and then eventually healed and let go with love so you can be your best self. Okay? If y'all need me to go back to the slide, I will. But there's another question that goes with this that I want y'all to tap into. So I'm going to just go ahead and go. I want you to reflect while I got you here in this boundary setting on a situation where you had to set a boundary. Now, the first one said where you struggled to say no. Okay. Because we got to start somewhere, right? Now, I want you to see what you look like when you did set a boundary. And how did it feel to assert yourself when you did that? How did you feel, right? How did you feel about yourself? Regardless of what they said, acted out, or showed out with, I want you to think about what you felt like. What were your thoughts? How did you see yourself after that? What did you have to deal with internally when you set that boundary? Why was it important, you know, for you to stand 10 toes down that day for yourself? What version of you needed you to do that and is proud that you did that? To every negative, there's a positive, and I need y'all to understand that. If y'all notice, while we've been doing these sessions, we go straight to the root. I get y'all thinking, I get y'all moving, I get y'all shaken up by the past, right? We feel the energies of shame, guilt, and fear. But then look, we find our strengths too on the other side of that, because you ain't been walking around just being dumped on every day. Some of us didn't get that. Others that may needed that lesson lived that. But you're having breaks to be able to reflect and catch these things so you can, do well with those things, make peace with those things. And it's for the better parts of you that need you to do that. It's for your psyche, it's for your body, it's for your limbs, your nervous system, it's for your smile, it's for your compassion for yourself. All these things that you're doing to take care of yourself, to better yourself, not because you think you're better, not because you feel like I got it going on. I mean, it's more of an in confidence thing. It's the confidence that other people don't see that you're working on. This confidence isn't for show. This confidence isn't for somebody to say, "Ooh, no," because I mean, you get a "ooh" and you get "ooh, I see." Yeah, okay, thank you. That's just the synchronicities telling you you're doing your job and you're doing it well. But the goal is for that silent confidence within yourself that only you know about because of the work that you're putting in. And knowing that no matter what's happening outside of you, because you know yourself, you know what to expect from you. It's trusting you. It's unconditional love. And I want you to know that for every part that you go deep and you feel something that stirs your soul and makes you cry or makes you angry, know that those emotional feelings that are releasing are okay. I know you don't want to feel them. I know you don't want to go through them. I know that it's not something you want to deal with because it's painful. But if you want to get to the loving side, you're going to have to go through the pain to get there. And no matter how much you twist and turn, the road will be the same to get to love. You will have to go through pain because it's only through pain that you understand what love is unconditionally. But if you don't want to go through the tunnel of pain to get to love, then you become like everybody else that will destroy, kill, steal, talk down, overstep boundaries, manipulate you, gossip, tarnish, destroy. You think about all the things that we're seeing rampant right now in the communities around us, from the politics to the school system to the food system to the hobbies that we're all in love with, shampoos, like our hygiene. Every place is showing that there are people that can't hold it in anymore of who they are, that they aren't really exactly what it is that they sold us when they first got in with love and light. They are really on some, it's about me, and I'm willing to speak and show you through how I show up that you're not going anywhere. You're going to stay right here and you're going to be taken advantage of. And some people do stay and get taken advantage of. And then you got others that'll fight, right? So I know, Miss Ass. I just need you to bear with me. She said her hand hurting from writing, but baby, I'm telling you, if your hand is hurting, girl, that means you got something to say from within. It's a lot of you inside of you, especially that 8-year-old, 4-year-old you was talking about. That 8-year-old baby is like, girl, we got to write, because this gonna lead us to the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way up to where you at. Girl, they got something to say. I love hearing about hurt hands. If you got to take a break, just take little notes. And then as the week goes on, you guys got plenty of days to explore those concepts that are coming to the forefront of your heart and your mind, and allow yourself the time to go over each and every detailed thing that you want to talk about. That's why I give y'all the replay, because what you may miss, you can go back on and you can expound upon while pausing and allowing your hands to flow. And then you stop and start whenever you want. But I love it. Oh, I love it. Because that means you got stuff you want to say. She said my hand hurt. But yes, come on now. Okay. Now, so I've got y'all to think about a time y'all struggled to say no. And then I also got y'all to reflect on when you had to set that boundary. Okay. Now we're going to go into the next one. Okay. We still here on this plate with these meat and potato and all that. I want you to think about, where in my life do I need stronger boundaries? Woo! And I want y'all to be raw, witty, come to the forefront with it. The first thing that made your heart skip a beat and you start sweating, where do you need it? Where do you need to set strong boundaries, right? What's stopping me from setting them? Girl, who you got around you that done broke you and got you doing whatever they want you to do, even if you uncomfortable. Oh yeah, I'm talking smack today. I want y'all to sit uncomfortable with your boundaries that you don't enact. Who need to get checked by some boundaries? Who need to get a dose of boundaries? Who need a serving of that sweet, delicious pie, right? We here in the bird months. It's all kind of pies being made. Y'all better start serving up these boundary pies. You get a slice, you get a slice, you get a slice. You know what? You might need a whole pie. You understand what I'm saying? Think about what I'm saying. I want you to start thinking about these things in a way, like, make it not so tight, but it's allowing your emotional side. It's allowing your spiritual side. It's allowing you to finally feel the audacity, the what have I been doing? How long I've been here having you running me around like this? You are body and able. You can get up. You can do it yourself. Oh, but I love when you do it. It's beautiful that you love the way that I do it, but I can't do it for you. Now, you're going to feel some type of way when they don't get up right away and do it for themselves. In fact, they might find another sucker, because that's, keep it real. That's exactly how they move it. Going to find another sucker to do it. And you're going to have to watch them not learn or take accountability, but you're going to watch how they turn around and say, well, you dried up. I'm going over here and I'm going to give me a new supply. And I want you to pay attention to that. I want you to pay attention to that, because that's what you're going to see on this journey. And that's the part of accepting what you see and keeping yourself intact from the boundaries you have for yourself. That's going to keep you on the path. People are not going to just get up after you speak to them or speak a word of light into them and get up and just feel like, God, you're so right. Let me move. No, it's going to take them a minute to get there. So their reaction isn't to jump into, oh, you right. Because they will say you right. But then they'll turn around and go find somebody else to get them to do the work. People aren't always ready to do this work that you're doing right now. And that is their business and that is their right. However, it is your job to check your energy, your tone, your focusedness, your boundaries, and everything within you to keep you focused on your journey. That is called accountability. That's called responsibility. And so, as you're moving on this journey, I want y'all to understand as you're making stronger boundaries, it isn't just because you're worried about other people and what they may say, because the boundaries ain't really for them. The boundaries is for you. Because at first we started off like, despite others. Despite others is the catch to bring you in because everybody got somebody they want to create a boundary for. Now you feel entitled because it's them. But really, now that I got you here, the boundaries is for you. The boundaries were always about you. The boundaries is your first line of defense to protect you. But if you don't have the boundaries in place and you don't have strong boundaries to protect you, your whole queendom is destroyed or it's weakened. And I feel like a lot of us, when we're coming into this self-love work, once we get past the nails and the hair and all that stuff, what we find is a big ball of all these different suppressed emotional wounds that we did not get the tools just yet in how to heal them. And they create more different types of connections that were made out of fear, shame, and guilt that aren't really who we are. So we live lives that really aren't connected to who we are. We're living in a shell of ourselves due to these emotional wounds and what it has been able to build up based on those restrictions, confinement with shame, guilt, and fear. But you guys are saying that you don't want that anymore. You guys are saying that I know there's somebody in me ready to burst out and live stronger and better than this. There's a smile in there that wants to be here every day. There's some toes, some fingers, some hair, and some skin that wants to be shown and flow every day. But what is in me or around me or that I've taken in as law for myself from someone else that has me living as a shell of myself? Okay. So I want y'all to think about stronger boundaries. What's stopping me from setting them? And I want you to write a list of what you can do to enforce them. What can you do? What does that look like? Right? What does that look like? How do you feel? What stories, what emotional wounds are connected to those things? Everything's connected. There's nothing on this planet within you that you can throw away. You need every single circumstance, every word, every sentence, every situation, every connection, every disconnection. Smile, no smile, sun, moon. Think about it. Think of the polarity of it all. You need everything. Your job isn't to throw away because if you try to focus on throwing away and it keeps coming back, now you're angry and you're going to go crazy because you can't throw away this thing. It is how you sit with things, it's how you understand things. Because there's nothing about you that you can throw away. Nothing. You cut your hair off, you cut your nails off, but they'll keep growing. How do you sit with you? That's how you have to look at everything. How do you sit with that? This is why when people say, oh, you can't even sit in the dark because you're scared of your shadow. It's your shadow, girl. You walk outside, the sun is beaming on you. Your shadow walking with you. But when it get dark, you don't want to see it. Just want y'all to think about what I'm saying. You have the power and you have the strength to make peace with every single thing you've been a part of. All the things that you were not a part of. It's called acceptance. But the only way you will have the ability to reflect and to heal the things that you need to is as long as you got some strong boundaries, girl. And it ain't just for them people out there, it's for you. And as long as you give everybody an inch or give yourself 2 inches to be nosy here, yeah. Oh, I can handle this. Now I can go back out. Oh, this is what this is. Oh, I can sit out here and be in people business. Go ahead and act a fool out here and act like you just didn't go through all that work to get you where you had to go. Act like you can sit out here now because you don't know a thing or two. The idea is to get you out of those spaces because those people do not understand what it is that you've done to get yourself out of where you just pulled yourself out of. And so when they come at you and they still living that life of uncertainty, they taking big risks, they asking everybody else to do everything for them, they don't care about you. That turns into violence real fast, physical. Think about you speaking up for yourself where people are not okay with you speaking up and how angry they will touch you. Just because your throat chakra, your mouth can be spoken and you can articulate yourself well, don't mean that you got to go back into the lion's den and talk smack. That is still a lion in that lion's den. It was never about us getting to a point where our boundaries are so strong that we go out there and parade it around to provoke people. Okay? So I want y'all to think of ways to enforce boundaries without guilt and shame. I told you I was going to be on today. This is like my favorite subject. I want you to affirm your right, use simple language, practice self-compassion, release responsibility for others' reaction. Still working on that one. Anchor in your why. Pause instead of over explaining. Listen. Ground with breath. Visualize support. Reframe the narrative. That is what we're doing right now. And celebrate your strength. And I gave y'all a list of strengths. So it ain't like y'all don't know who you are, where you come from, and what you got and what you don't got. You have no excuse on why your boundaries should not be like Fort Knox. Like, girl, you are a walking, living goddess. You better protect the queen, dude. You better protect. Stop having these peasants running up in your house. This is your temple. Your body sexually, your mental, your physical, how you eat, how you move your body. The words of affirmations that you speak, they could be curses on yourself, not just other people, but yourself. How you think. It says, reframe the narrative instead of saying I'm selfish or I'm a bad person or I don't know no better. Baby, I do know better. Show me where I can learn to do better. Right? All these things work hand in hand. Okay? So I want y'all to screenshot this because I want y'all to see the ways to enforce boundaries without guilt and shame. It is your job to affirm your right. Do not get witty with your mouth because as you heal and you get stronger and better, it's some people, some versions of you inside of you. You come in contact with who put you in that box in the first place. Girl! Come across that auntie that sunned you when you was 5 and now you know how to talk because you ain't scared of her. Girl! She's still that same person, but you not. She is going to view you as that 5-year-old and think that she could put her hands and do something. Y'all want to rumble at the family function. That's all I'm going to say. Come on. I'm trying to tell y'all something because as y'all heal more, oh, baby, them versions of you that's been itching and waiting at the door for these people that's still living and breathing and acting the same way. Oh, yeah, your mouth ready. And you might have some Air Forces in your bag. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Just because you're getting stronger, you're getting better, don't mean that you're going to put your Air Forces on. Go back over there. The awareness is for you to keep trotting on your journey. Somebody, Tamika say, yep, I had to stop having Twitter, social media gangster figures and going off on random strangers because it is not, girl, because it is not. I'm trying to tell y'all something. As you get your awareness up because you done healed yourself in a lot of different places and you feel it. I don't know how to explain, but there is a confidence that's silent in you like, man, I got this. I've been through some wicked things in my life. Nobody cared to help me get through it. And I figured out how to do it. You think that there's no place that you can't go and can't be seen, can't be heard. You can go anywhere you want, but I will tell you, an aware person that is not on some superficial spiritual bypass and stuff, maybe you ain't going over there. Because you know it ain't worth your time. You know what it took for you to pull yourself out of what you just came through. And you can see why them people moving like that. Girl, leave them people alone. Leave them people alone. Girl, Candace, you better talk. Girl, that Air Force energy will come out. Because there's versions of you that remember when you tried to set a boundary, right? And you tried to set that boundary, and those people did X, Y, and Z to you. You think you forgot that? You may have suppressed it, but your body, your mind, your spirit, your nervous system, the most, still hold it. That's why every time you go around the family or whoever there that did you something, you're sweating, you're looking, because you may not remember the full details, but your body do, your nervous system do, your subconscious do. And they know that once they hear so and so, such and such, this is that, and y'all see the rules and the politics in the family. Come on, man. But you go ahead and heal that part of yourself and go show up at that family function. You're gonna have you damn Air Forces in your toe because you like, I wish she would, and she will. Oh, she will. Because you beaming with it. Oh, you beaming with it. That's why this y'all not feeling me. That's why every time you open up your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube shorts, everybody running amok. Hands being laid, somebody getting cussed out, somebody flying out of car, somebody talking smack, somebody ready to talk big and don't even know that they on live, but the op right around the corner because the op know where you live. They seen you going live because they watching you too, waiting for you to say something, and then they run up and pull you out your own car where you on the live. Listen, y'all not listening. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all think about what I'm saying. She said my fist do too. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all don't see all these people losing their minds online. These people done lost their minds. Everybody running, everybody catching fades. Everybody in competition. Some people so delulu right now, they dancing and grinding up against the wall. Don't know whether to fly out the door or to sit still. Baby, we are losing it. Every time I open up my app, some girl or dude dancing. And do you not see the outside right now? But that's the best way that they can deal with what's going on in their world. They have no situational awareness. Everything is God gonna handle it. My mama them gonna handle it. Somebody gonna handle it. Somebody gonna take care of me. Some people are so delusional and so off right now because they don't know how to sit still and reflect and really take accountability. Baby, they gotta dance. They gotta dance. Some gotta yell into the abyss, screaming at their phone. Know that somebody is recording something right now while we're here and they screaming and yelling into a lens and uploading that. Come on now. So, ways to enforce your boundaries without guilt or shame. Y'all better get y'all one of these. Y'all better get you one of these. Because if they gyrating and dancing and flying and jumping off roofs and just doing all the crazy delulu things right now, right? What you doing? How you maintaining? How you setting yourself up for victory? Are you caught up in the moments of somebody else who's clearly not checked in? You know how sad it is to watch people scream at other people that have clearly lost their mind. Just because they look good on the outside don't mean that they all there in the inside. But your sanity is contingent upon somebody giving you attention and hearing you. How about you hear yourself? See yourself, love yourself, value yourself, be there for yourself, heal yourself, forgive yourself, be patient with self, encourage yourself. Look at all the things I'm saying about what you could be doing for yourself, but you rather not do that. I want to focus on what this person ain't doing. And that is what social media is right now. Look at this lady getting slapped. Look at this, da, 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 da. And it just keeps going for hours. And the next thing you know, you looked up, you done doom scrolled, disassociated for 2-3 hours. They running amok, you disassociating. Somebody say, what you say? Let me stop. Ava, you crazy. She said, I'm sitting there watching the crazy and just praying, Lord, catch me and heal me before I ever get. Listen, these people were always like this. Man, y'all don't even see these masks dropping out here. Everybody's still trying to get they get back. The mask is dropped. COVID, 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 COVID. That's all I'm gonna say. That not having enough information, not being taught, not knowing how to sit still and reflect led a lot of people into delusions. And they got there quicker because they had never seen the amount of money that they were able to get. We had never seen so many people give attention to people in the way that we or have been able to receive with social media. And you put people in places where things don't look the same in the world based before COVID. Like we didn't know jobs can shut down all at once, that we all could be at home at once, that we can all get aid from the government at once in this capacity. And when we got out of it, we did not equip nor did we take care of our people mentally to prepare them for what life looked like after COVID shut the whole world down. The amount of psychosis and deaths that people had to go through, the educational system being a different type of way for our kids and the new kids that were coming into the system, those that were exiting the system as well for school, elders being scared, youngsters not caring about elders being scared. We got a melting pot of so many different things all at once that it caused a lot of people to never get back attached to reality. And they're living in bubbles that none of us can comprehend, but only they can. Because their identity, their ego, their pride, everything they stand for is wrapped up in that illusion. And the minute that politics really starts showing its hand and other underlining tensions and things that we've all are still under when it comes to separation and division as a community, the safety of what tomorrow looks like brings a fear in people that causes them to disassociate, and it causes them to perform. And I think a lot of people can't do it anymore, and who they truly are is here now. And so when somebody turns on that camera and the first thing they come out with is either dancing during a time they shouldn't be dancing, or they're trying to say or push religion, something bad has happened. And all they have is whatever they can grab on to make sense of it. And you being here, me being here, logging off, doing our work, you're making sure that you take care of the parts that didn't get covered in COVID after we got up out of there. And you're making sure that you are in alignment with yourself and that you are feeling and you are hearing and you are seeing in reality. Because there's people walking around with no type of understanding of what today is. There are people that does not understand what's happening with the government. They think they're voting against people that have hurt them in the past and just trying to keep the bad people away, but they're actually giving their rights away. This is why people be like, I don't know how you can sign, you're not voting your rights. Because for them, not partaking is a protection for them. Not being associated is protection for them. They feel like if they go sit with the bad person and kiss the bad person's ring, that nothing will happen to them. Well, a bad person don't care about nobody. That's the thing, right? Girl, turn the TV off. That is definitely what we should all be doing right now, and figuring out how to take care of ourselves, because ain't no boundaries out here in these social media streets. And If you are not careful, you're going to get swept up. And I'm sorry, but I was the last person to know that the rapture came and went. And now that I'm left behind. And I guess y'all got left behind too, because I did not know that we went from, what we saw on TV or what was happening with that other side of the world with those people to now the rapture. I mean, the polarity of wanting to be that heinous and murk somebody like that at a college, and then we are the Most High is coming back for everybody. What? Listen, the rapture, child. And now these kids is making videos of the rap. Child, they don't care about none of that stuff that we was forced to comply with. Them kids like, y'all drank that, not us. And they done lost their minds too. So now everybody running around with lost mind. Y'all better get y'all some PA, some pure awareness. But you can only do that if you sit with the stuff that you're scared of, shameful of, and guilty of, right? So Miss Sandy said, it's crazy you just said that. When I see someone on the street with mental illness, me too, because she starts praying because something happened. They didn't wake up one morning and decided to be that way. It's sad. My heart aches. I agree. Yes, lock it up. I agree, Angela, lock it up. So I want y'all to understand something. What you're doing here is because something in you knows that you need to do this work. And you got to do this work now. Even if it's for you to have a better job, better sleep, be more in the presence. Whatever your why is and why you're here in this workshop, know that that is more than enough. Know that it's more than enough. But understanding why you have to have your boundaries, why you have to take care of your emotional wounds, why making sure that you're always rediscovering yourself, and every day that you get through reflection is because it is a reminder that you are who you are, and you need you to be who you are so that you could keep going on your journey for whatever the purpose is that is on your life. You cannot give up right now. We are watching people of all shades dropping. It is not one particular people that is dropping. Baby, it's all of us. It's every single one of us. And it's not just one race. It's just not one age bracket. It is many different types of people walking around with delusions of grandeur right now. And you have to be in a place to reflect so you can keep yourself from being one of those people. You have to. I agree. Ava said, I don't watch TV anymore. It's too much negativity and my mind can't comprehend the nonsense people say and think. And that orange man just makes my skin crawl. Think about what we're seeing on social media too. Social media is the new TV. And this is why, and it's unregulated, not rated TV access, whether it's YouTube, streaming platforms. Social media has become the place where those that need attention and don't know how to sit with themselves to go crazy. If you look now on my social media, I don't post my kids. It's been years since I post my kids. My kids have given me a boundary and their father a boundary. They said, I don't want my pictures or nothing up there. So something happened where I volunteer at ISIS's school and my baby school. I'm very heavily involved in my kids' school. And ISIS being a middle school, those kids are on phones. And when the kids would see me, they would see my shirts and they would just type in Isis Ella Jules. And guess what they would do with my daughter when she would get to school? They'd be like, that's your mom? Oh my God, your mom is that. Oh my God. And she would feel so embarrassed, I think, because it's like, what do you got? Like, not embarrassed. She said, I don't like the fact that they are using you to get to me. And if they could find you and find my pictures and the things you're posting, they can then use it against. This is how smart and rude these kids are due to not having the parent guidance that they need. And instead of telling ISIS that I'm the adult, I'm going to post what I want. I don't give about them kids. They can't do nothing to me. I had to remember that they can do something to her and they are doing something to her. And if I don't follow where her boundary is, what am I telling my daughter? I want others to respect my boundaries, but I'm not willing to respect her boundaries. Right? So I stopped posting, right? Out of respect for my children. Ella would come in and she would jump on my lives and be here because she didn't understand what this was until she finally got on social media in terms of watching where we have her, protected. And she would be like, no, mom, I don't want to go on video anymore. I don't want people to see me. And it's like, because people are weird. And it's like, kids. are picking up that I want to. My kids don't want social media accounts. My kids is like, we see, we understand, we see how kids use it, how they're mean. We don't want it. Think about what I'm saying. If kids is saying, my daughters have told me, Mom, I like my privacy. I like my privacy too. So you guys are okay that I do for them. I take care of them every day. Ella just had a birthday on Wednesday last week, turned 11. I didn't post nothing. I was with her in the present. And I showed up and showered her with love. They don't care. They don't care. They have a boundary. Come on now. I see y'all talking. I love that, you guys. I love it. Y'all talking. I see y'all. Yes. She says she would feel seen probably when she doesn't want to. My best friend played in the NFL and there were women that showed zero interest in him, but when they Google and found out he played, they stressed themselves out for his attention. I believe it. Thank you. I'll let her know, Miss S. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to what I'm saying that kids are saying. Y'all know I'm in Inglewood. These people. Listen to what I'm saying. If kids are telling us that they are not wanting to be online because of what they see from adults and what children are willing to do to other children with social media, my kids being a little bit more aware and in tune with their self and in the present, they don't want to deal with that. We as adults have to figure out where is our boundary for ourselves and our minds and what we focus on, right? So when I said that your boundaries are for you, I really mean that. So I want you to think about how can I communicate boundaries without guilt and fear, okay? Without guilt and fear. You can make a list. You can go back later and be in tune and write more. Screenshot this because we do not meet next week Sunday. We have a break. And I got an assignment for y'all to do with boundaries. I'm telling y'all, this is like my favorite subject. So I made a beautiful, beautiful homework to help us out. And I want y'all to be able to use your stickers, use your stash for this particular homework. So make your list, and I want you to come back to how can I communicate boundaries without guilt? As you get stronger every day, you find a new way that fits how you are, how you speak, and what you do. I want you to expand upon that in your journaling sessions. Just because we get through boundaries with this session and then we go into another session doesn't mean that you're done with boundaries. You're going to be walking with boundaries for a very long time. And as long as you want to keep yourself together, your boundaries should be at the forefront with you. This is your first line of defense of protection for your peace. And so, with that being said, your boundaries could look so many different ways from other people. But the boundaries are supposed to keep you on track and it's supposed to give you tunnel vision for your path. So when you're thinking about your boundaries, I want you to think about it without the guilt, the fear, and even shame. I didn't put shame there, but I want you to think about it because it's usually guilt and fear that keeps us from saying no. Because most people can't shame us because it sounds stupid. But guilt and fear looks totally different than shame when it comes to boundaries, right? Because guilt, people could be like, come on, please, please. And then there's that people pleasing. And that fear is, I'm going to break you. I will hurt you. You better do as I say. So we react differently to the different types of pressure of what those energies look like when we're telling people a boundary that we have, right? Because usually we'd be like, man, I'm at work and I don't want to pop off. But sometimes that's what the policy handbook is for in HR. But, oh, I don't want to sound like a snitch. Well, are you a snitch? Whose culture created that? Why is that in place to protect the abuser? So now we've created a snitch culture to be a first line of defense for the abuser so that they're always protected versus the people that are being victimized by this particular beast. And so now we're not willing to go to HR because we don't want to say, like, I don't care if they snitch. I'm not about to be doing 10 years. First 48, you ever watch First 48? And they sitting up there trying to protect, baby, give me a biscuit, give me some food, give me some, because I ain't doing time for nobody. I didn't do that. And if I don't know something, I don't know something. You can't make me flip. But I watched First 48, and baby, I ain't going to jail for nobody. No. I remember when Mike Epps did his stand up and he was like, First 48, and then be sitting up there smacking on all that meal. You give me a little extra butter for the business. Baby, that's me. That is me. Y'all better, because that's the journey. You know how many people in your family, in your friendship circle, in your relationship has told you to be quiet on things that you've seen and made you feel crazy that you've seen it, or tell you to unsee them? Have you ever seen anybody get irritated with you taking care of yourself and they get mad because you taking care of yourself because that means you ain't pouring into them? And then they try to guilt you and shame you and put fear into you. Well, I'm gonna leave if you keep taking care of yourself. Excuse me? Come on now. Somebody says, sing it like, Fredetta says, sing it like a bird. I cut sheets of paper into little strips and write your journal prompts on them and put them in a jar for later use. And now when I'm not sure what to write, I pull from my, come on, creativity. I love that, Ava. She said that she takes the journal prompts and she puts them on strips of sticker paper and then she cuts them, put them in a jar. And then when she needs something to journal on, she'll pull one like she's pulling a name. And that is the energy she's working with. Y'all better get creative out here. Ain't no wrong or right way. This is why the homework that y'all have for the next 2 weeks is going to be beautiful. So let's see. So for gratitude today, you're going to write 3 things you are grateful for today. Supportive friends, peace of mind, time for yourself, whatever it is that you're grateful for because your boundaries have allowed you that peace. Just write 3 things. Doesn't have to be long, just 3 things real quick. What it is that you are grateful for today when it comes to the support of your boundaries. Like, what is it? Is it a supportive friend group? You got a spouse you can talk to? You got a friend circle that you can talk to? Y'all got time for yourself. You got peace of mind. You getting sleep. You getting rest. You understand what I'm saying? You eating good because you got more time to cook. You know, what is it? Are you able to read that good book? Are you able to have more time to watch your favorite show? You know, whatever it is that your boundaries helps you to be able to enjoy in peace. That is the goal of what your boundaries are for. Your boundaries keep you protected and it keeps your peace at all times. Okay. And then let's see what I have here. Homework. There's a reason why I'm kind of going through this stuff a little bit fast, and I want to talk about the homework. So I need y'all to screenshot this if you can. And it's about practice saying no in a low setting situation, like turning down an invitation or a request and journaling about the experience and how it feels, or telling yourself no social media today to protect your peace because they're violent. Or it looks like you finally telling a child or an adult that you don't have time or the energy and moving forward. But start practicing your no's in places to build up your capacity and your strength. And I will tell you, I'm working on this too, because no's still end up being yeses for me when it comes to the little ones. Like, oh mom, can you make me something to eat? Like, Isis, you're 14, you can go make you a sandwich. But oh mommy, I need a 5-star meal. That's her thing. I don't know what's up with these teenagers, but they don't want to eat none. They don't want snacks. They want meals, and they want crab legs, sushi. They want birria chicken tacos. These kids spoil, right? But learning how to be like, no, you're not about to guilt me. You are okay with making you a sandwich and having you a piece of fruit. Go on in there and do something. And then they sulking. I still love you, you know? So learning how to work through those little no's and knowing that there's no guilt or shame or fear that is supposed to be on you. Now, the second part, we are not meeting up until, I believe, the 12th of October. Yes. So the extra homework that I want you guys to have is called use the squad method in your journal and create 12 mini spreads for the journal prompt or affirmation provided. This is going to be nice. So y'all know I like to do my journals with the little 4 square situation. And so for homework, I created affirmations and journal prompts for boundaries. I want y'all to stay in this for a little bit, right? Because like I said, this is your line of defense of your protection. Okay. And I've created over 12 different types of affirmations that have to do with boundaries and journal prompts. Baby, screenshot this. I only said 12, but you do as much as you want if you can go past 12. But this will get you to use your stickers in a creative way, as you can see in the picture. It'll get you to use your dolls, your washi tape, other affirmations that you guys may have. I want you to use each box as its own little mini spread. Go ham and cheese, even if it's just the affirmation you're writing. Like, for instance, my no is sacred. That's part of the spread in the box with stickers around it. Make it beautiful, colorful. Use your stash, right? I know y'all got a ton of florals, uh, deco, birds, insects, all that stuff. Bring them out with the dolls. Have fun in each square and layer to your heart's content. But make sure there are words they're speaking, either affirmations or a journal prompt, and leaving room for you in that square to write a response to what the journal prompt has asked of you. It's about creating momentum and capacity of what boundaries looks like. So you understand that when you're giving a boundary, why it's important to do so, and that it's not something for you to feel guilty, fearful, or shameful for. And so this exercise for the next 2 weeks, take your time and have fun. Pick and choose what speaks to you. Use your stash. I see that we have also my needs are valid. That's boundaries. That's telling yourself that that's for me. That's a boundary for you. The boundaries that I talked about earlier. Yeah, it starts off in despite of others, but now it's back to you. Are you keeping you in check? Are you making sure that you're considered every day? Are you making sure that you're taking care of your body, your mind, right? And your spirit, your homework, your goals, right? Your vision board goals, you know? Let's take the time to use the affirmations and journal prompts in different types of ways throughout these little squares on the quad in order to create a connection with yourself through the things that you love from this community that we call the planner community, right? We've created a community that we get to play with stickers, washi tapes, stamps, vintage types of stationery, everything you can think of, we have at our disposal that we've created in this community. Use your stuff. Okay. So I want y'all to screenshot that. And I want y'all to have a good old time with this. The most that and the reason why I said 12, because for some people it may be a challenge to even get two, but this will force you to sit your tail down with something nice of your choosing to sip on, put your music on, or light a candle and get busy. Romanticize you spending time with yourself. This is the isolation that we all need anyway. The social media, the projections, the being in other people's business, let's put that to the side. We've been in that type of environment our whole lives up until this very point. What does it look like without that stuff? Who are you when those things are not around? Can you sit still for 40 minutes without you picking up your phone unless there's a affirmation or a screenshot of a meme that has a word for you that you want to transfer over your journal? But can you have enough practice and capacity to keep your focus on your work that you need to do, that is what you've asked yourself to do? And if you find yourself wanting to gravitate to gossip or doing something else other than what you want to do, give yourself grace too. You ain't never been here before, where you have the ability to get all this attention and you may not know what to do with it because there's so many underlying emotional suppressive wounds that still haven't been able to have the opportunity to come up to the surface and get the type of breathing room that it needs to be felt, heard, and understood so it can be healed and let go with love, right? And so this is the part of the journey where I'm saying you got to be gentle, but you got to be consistent with the work. You're going to have to keep digging. For some of us, you may be with a little, what is the little brush? Remember in Jurassic Park when the professor was in the back excavating, they digging up the little dinosaur bones. Some of y'all may need to just have that little broom because that's the energy you give it. But some of us got shovels. Shit, get that. Some of us brought that little machine that they used to dig up the dirt with the little, I don't know what they call them, but it got the little shovel thing and you can pick up big chunks of that land. That's where I'm at. I'm picking up chunks right now. So build your capacity for this race. Okay? But don't stop digging. Do not stop digging. Backhoe. There it is. Back home, right? Because I'm I'm digging. I'm digging big. I wanna pull up big chunks of that ground to see what's under that root. I'm looking for the root. I'm looking for the root. I'm looking for the root. I love it. I love it. Y'all, that's all we have for today. That's all we have for today. So it's October 12th. We'll be back for week 4 with creating a vision, goal setting, and healthy routines. Because, baby, that's what the boundaries had to be for. We had to do the boundaries so you know where you need to put up a line of defense. Because now when we start doing the goal setting and the healthy routines, we got to protect that. Because, baby, let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about it real quick. You ever notice that when you start doing something for yourself, start eating good, feeling good, sleeping good, everybody start noticing. Even the ones that don't pay you attention, all of a sudden, hey, you looking good. I want to know what's going on over there. It's because they nosy. They don't like the fact that you're taking care of yourself. They want to know what or who is in your life building you up because they have a image of who they know you to be and want to keep you in that place. Because as long as they could keep you in that place where they're comfortable with, because they feel like they are above you, you start growing or doing anything that they're not privy to, that is suspicious to them. And you are doing something that is not of the word or in the light. And so they have to figure out and make a way and speak negativity and even try to do some manipulative things, right? To make sure that you ain't outgrowing them. Clocky. You ever start taking care of your soul while trying to date somebody and they keep playing phone tag with you, but they always out, they always doing stuff, but they just can't pick up for you. But the minute you stop calling them and you taking care of yourself, now they calling you like, where you been at? Why I ain't seen you? They like that chase. They like the fact that you giving them attention, even though they're not even paying you no mind. They like the fact that you moving and running and redoing and reshaping your whole life to make room for them. But they don't have to do anything for you. But the minute you start taking care of yourself, here they come. Boundaries will do that. And the next week, when we come back for week's 4 session, talking about those goals and the routine settings, think about what I'm saying. Those are the times that people like to act up and come back because they're nosy and they want to stop you. There are always going to be people on your journey, in your family, within your friend circle, at your work, at your school, any place that you are that are supposed to stop you when you start breaking out. You're not supposed to be happy when you leave the job or come into work and be on the job happy and okay and content. Nobody wants you to be like that. I want you to be miserable. Nobody wants you leveling up and getting that new car because you saved. You got to be doing something. You're doing something. You selling somebody. You selling something, huh? Think about how women in your family think about when you getting on and you being blessed, and it don't look like what they had to do or they can't get to it because of whatever they got going on. You doing something illegal. Or you selling something. Or you doing something out there and why a man got to get it from me? Think about what I'm saying. When you glowing and you are doing your thing because you're keeping your boundaries intact and you are doing the goal-oriented, goal-setting routine, baby, you speaking a language that they don't know nothing about. They can't comprehend what it is that this self-love thing that you're doing. But I know one thing, what it looks like to them. If they can't get your energy or can't get you to do what they need you to do for them, they're going to call you selfish. So y'all better be ready. And that goes for kids too. Mama, you don't have time for me. Baby, you're grown. We can spend time together, but it doesn't mean that I got to carry your weight of your journey and your decision making. But mama, I need this. Okay, well, you need to save up. But you could just get it from. I've helped you many times and it doesn't seem to help you. We're going to have to learn how to stand firm in our boundaries and our confirmation with our voices because our children will play us. Our spouses will play us. The people we're dating will play us. Sure, I'm going to just call it like what it is because a spade is a spade. You play yourself. You play yourself and betray yourself the first minute of, look, y'all done almost brought out the Erica off the camera because I almost said so. Listen. Listen. Almost went too casual. Ain't heard from nobody for how long? And the minute you stop giving somebody attention or cut ties with them, now everybody got everything in the world to give you in that moment. You ain't crazy. But if you're not aware of what's going on around you, you'll pick up that phone call. And when they love bombing you, you're going to get right up out of your bed, your little celibate self. You're going to go right over there and give up all your energy to that little thing over there that gave you no time until you stop messing with them. Pull all your energy back. Then he feel you retreating and he losing you. Now he going to do whatever he can to get you back. And as soon as he get what he want to see that you're going to come right back, he's going to treat you like that all over again. And until you find out what that pattern is, and this ain't just for romantic sexual relationship, it's for all relationship. Y'all better start looking at these patterns. You ain't crazy. You was never crazy, but they told you you was. They told you you was, and you believed it. And you second guess your intuition. You so disconnected from yourself from believing everybody and they stories about you and what you seeing because they want to keep doing what they doing. Nobody want to see them do nothing that they not happy about doing. That's why people steal, kill, hurt you, threaten you, because you see them. What happened when you were a kid and you see something? And they telling you to do all the X, Y, and Z the Bible tell you to do, and then you do it and you live by that and you work by that, but they breaking all the rules they gave you. See, it was never about following the rules. It was about you following the rules, but not them. Your whole world is shattered when you find out on the family tree that they was giving you the program, but they wasn't abiding by the program. Relationships look just like that. It don't matter if it's co-workers. People will tell you, I mean, look at what was that baseball game or was it a football game? Or no, it was a concert. And them two CEOs or the HR person, girl, you the head of HR and you telling these people not to fraternize, but you fraternizing with the CFO. Girl, talk about to the top. They couldn't keep them people on board. Y'all gave those workers under you all policies to sign that they can't fraternize and y'all broke the main rule? You think that they was going to respect them people and do as they say? The rules don't apply no more. If the leader is breaking the rules, what does it say for everybody else at the bottom who has been following the leader that's supposed to be the example? I mean, if you look at the country right now, if the leader don't give a shit, we don't. This kid's running around right now. Well, he ain't listening. He a felon. Shit, let me ball out. Men, women running around. Yeah, I just want people to punish because, okay. Misery love company. They got to. Somebody said it. They all gonna be dating each other. They will. And the family that you come from are still sitting there together, making more babies, and those babies is sitting in there. And until something is learned about that pattern in that house that got that family sitting in there and not leveling up in any way possible, except age, it's not generational curses. And I think that's what scares people. It ain't generational curses. Y'all don't have enough. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about everybody. We do not have enough capacity to sit still and learn new ways of doing things with the technology and the advancement of our time that we have developed. We are all still running around as if we still living in feudal times. We don't trust our daughters. We still telling our daughters they need to clean and know how to clean house. Baby, they not on a little house in the prairie no more. Boys need to know how to wash their clothes now. They ain't got, what happens when they don't have sisters? Because you didn't get a girl on this go round. So what you teaching the boy? Well, I'm his mama. I'm gonna cook and clean and do. So now you his little woman. Think about what I'm saying. I'm not trying to discredit or break up anybody's traditional standards, religious practice, political practices. I'm just saying start doing some critical thinking. And why is it y'all still walking around like we ain't got enough resources around here? Why everybody still greedy? Why everybody else still feel like somebody else should do the work for them? Then when they get out there, they become passport bros. Some of these little boys. Because they were never taught boundaries, not for themselves or for other people. And so they go into a whole nother country trying to break them girls in because they feel like they didn't got no boundaries. But a newsflash, they've been watching America since before we even knew that they could watch us. And they know what's over here, and they know how to play the game. See, you just don't know that they don't know how to play the game because you're too busy thinking that it's American women that need, the rear and tearing. Go ahead, let them go over there and grab them chicks. Let them come back over here because that's all they want to do is they just want to step foot on this land. You think they care about you and your passport and $2.50 you make an hour? Them girls is gone. There's so many of them coming over here playing them same passport bros. But we ain't hearing it because they embarrassed. Everything right now is mask off. And if you pay attention and create a section in your journal like I had, and every day that you go out in the world and you take in some information, think about something that you grew up on, traditional for standards for males, females, work ethic, school, everything. Write the pro of it. Example, traditional marriage. How that look like today? Do we still live in a place that we want to be in relationships where we are always the ones putting out there and taking care of everybody else and not ourselves? That's changed. Think about boys and girls in schools right now. Everybody in their phones. They're not socializing like they used to. They're socializing with each other through the internet. The way we interact is different. You barely see kids outside anymore because they're in the home. What changed? Technology. We got two parents working now. And we don't have it. Our parents in our communities used to go out and work all the time. So we were latchkey kids. Think about that. So who was watching us? Babysitters? What is that? Now we have childcare. All these things are changing. The relationships that we have are changing. More women are deciding to stay alone and not alone, because when you hear alone, based on how it was programmed to us that we need to be in a relationship, what it's saying is that we're finding out ways on how to sit still and take care of the work that needs to be done. And the ones that don't know how to sit still are the ones that are going to continue to cry out and go somewhere else to get what it is that they need in a relationship. Who would be able to provide it? So whoever said, Ava said it, they all going to be dating each other now. Yes, they will. The toxic people will continue to date each other. And the selfish kids will be the selfish kids. The community that wants to be a community and represent what a real community is without controlling of the community, but real love, real guidance, and self-preservedness will thrive. We still want families. We still want relationships. What we're saying, we don't want the relationships that suck us dry, like beef jerky. We don't want the relationships that tell us that we're not able to rest. We don't want the relationships that does not honor our no's. We don't want the relationships that separates us from ourselves. We don't want the relationships that's going to keep us disconnected and disassociated. We don't want the relationships that makes us question if we are really on the right path. We don't want the relationships that make us feel like we're not doing the right things because you don't get to benefit from it. We don't want the relationships that cause us to give up every single thing that we have because of in the name of love. Baby, they just called for the rapture and it had a time and date. I thought it said in the Bible that no man would know no hour and no day, but this man said he had it. I want to talk to Jesus because I want to know why this man get to hear it from you about the time of day. And I did it. You know how many of us felt like, well, dang, I thought I was talking to God. Thank you, Angela. You're welcome. I'll have the replay up tomorrow. Think about what I'm saying. So, with that being said, I want y'all to understand what it is that we're working on and how to build capacity for it. This is not something you could just slip in and slip out and act like everything's going to be all right. You got to be doing this work every day. And every day you get up and before you go to bed, you check in with yourself to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You are your accountability partner. You are your boundary enforcer, and you are your biggest protector. Yes, you had a mommy and you had a daddy, and you probably had cousins, brothers, aunties. Everybody love you and like you. But at the end of the day, nobody know you like you do. Only you know what you need and what it needs to look like. And you need to be able to sit still alone when nobody's around. And even if a room of people are around you, can you still tap in and be secured with yourself? That is the goal. Now keep working, keep moving forward, and write as much as you can down. If you can't write, pull out your phone, record yourself with a thought, and bring it back into your journal when you get some time. For the next 2 weeks, take care of yourself and hold space for yourself. Pace yourself with the homework as well. Hopefully I can have hubby have this ready for me by tomorrow night. I know we've been getting it out late, but last week we had Ella's birthday, and baby, I'm telling you, I had to show up for my baby. But hopefully I could get him to have this up tomorrow night so you guys can have it and you guys can move with this video with you, because this is some great work you guys are doing right now with your boundaries. You're getting to know why you let your guard down. It ain't nothing like talking to yourself through your journal and figuring out why we move, speak, and do the things we do in the name of love or thereof. We think it was love because that's how it was presented to us. But a lot of us are going to find out that a lot of the stuff wasn't in the name of love. It was in the name of selfishness. And that is where you're going to need capacity with your breath work, with your tears flowing, and with you giving you time to hold space for that versions of you that found yourself gravitating to that type of energy. Why did I feel like I needed to give up myself for that person in that space and in that time? You can do this. You can do the work. If you need me, y'all know where to find me. Y'all got the group chat to bounce off ideas and work and the homework. Anything we talked about today, you guys can bring it into the chat as well and get more perspectives, because I think a lot of you, believe it or not, you guys are very, very, very good at connecting different experiences, but finding the common goal of what the energy is that connects you guys. So that shows you depth and understanding that the energy is the same, but the scenarios are different. And they're all trying to tell y'all something. Being back with yourself is where home is at. Okay? So, for that, I know you ain't screaming about the rapture. But I know we went over a little bit, but forgive me for that. I just felt like boundaries needed a little extra word today. Like I said, this is where your armor is now. Your boundaries is your armor, it's your protection. And I want you guys to build up this protection, get to know it in and out, because it is what's going to protect your goals. It's going to protect your new mindset. It's going to protect the new smile you have and all the dreams and desires that you have for yourself. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this journey with you guys. And I'm just so thankful that we are able to do this together. So if y'all have anything y'all need to say before we get up out of here, please unmute before we go, because we won't see each other until October 12th. All right. Well, yes, Candace? Just want to say thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you too. Thank you. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I will be in and out. You guys know where to find me, email and DM, but I got orders to get out. Y'all killed it for my sales. So I'm going to get back to work on that stuff and get everybody out tomorrow and Tuesday. So y'all be blessed and enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you guys on October 12th.